Get ready.
I am going to save my brother.
Robots helping humans.
I know, it's nuts. No offense.
Get it all the time.
Finally got around to seeing The Electric State. It was put on hold for me for a while because, one, it got awful reviews, but two, it came out during March Madness. I was super into basketball. While the premise did intrigue me and it was definitely up my alley, I, just put it on hold. Netflix movie. We'll see how bad it really is. And finally did get to watch it, and while it's not great, I'm going to say it is pretty much a very meh movie. I don't think it's as awful as the reviews make it out to be. It's got an insane cast. It's directed by the Russo brothers. You've got Millie Bobby Brown, Chris Pratt, Giancarlo Esposito, Woody Harrelson plays a voice in it. Stanley Tucci is kind of the main villain. And basically, it's like an alternate history kind of movie. It takes place in the 90s. It's based off a graphic novel where it's kind of like the Matrix, the Animatrix, I think, goes into this, where we've invented robots. They're doing all our service jobs. They decide they want rights, and there's a war that kind of breaks out. You get this all in exposition at the beginning of the movie, and then after the war, we kind of win the war, and we put all the robots in the desert somewhere called the Electric State, and then we got Millie Bobby Brown's character, who is an orphan. There's a car accident. Her brother was like really smart. Anyways, they all die, or so you think. And she is visited by a robot later on. They cut to the future a little bit, and the robot says it's her brother who's been dead. So. And then she goes into the robot zone. She finds Chris Pratt, That's kind of the gist of the movie. I will say, there's a lot of things I didn't like about this movie. I guess I'll do the positives first. It had some really good special effects. Like I said, I don't think the direction was the issue, although it does concern me a little bit that the Russo brothers have not had a good track record, and they're going back to the MCU to do the next two Avengers movies, which I hope, turn out better than something like this. But I don't really blame them. What I will blame, and I don't know if they had something to do with it because I didn't look into it, but the writing is really bad, and the characters, you've got this weird mix of things that I've seen in movies before, where the setting is interesting and unique, but it's kind of goofy, like the wigs, the costumes, the characters. You got like Mr. Peanut negotiating for peace, and got all this weirdness. So then when you go to try and take things seriously, when you're trying to have a heart-to-heart moment with Chris Pratt's character or Millie Bobby Brown's character, it's hard to take it serious, on top of the fact that I don't feel like we get enough of a connection between like Millie Bobby Brown and her brother, or Millie Bobby Brown and Chris Pratt. It just all of a sudden Chris Pratt really cares about Millie Bobby Brown, and saying, there's not enough moments. It's one of these things where I think maybe would have been suited better for TV, where we could have built up to things. It felt very rushed. There's no heart here. So then when you have these very emotional moments later on in the movie, they really fall flat and are almost comical and cheesy. And I'll just say my main complaint is the writing is really bad. Like, I could see the setting. I have a feeling the graphic novel is probably really cool, and this could have been a masterpiece kind of movie. But instead, it's just very exposition heavy, very bland, and like I said, none of the hard stuff works, and it's just kind of ridiculous at times at the end. There's a big action scene at the end, and like nothing here screams greatness. It all feels very like a Netflix movie. And then the fact you throw in that this is one of the most expensive movies ever, $300+ million, and I don't know. This is a big bomb, I think, on Netflix's case, especially with the cast that they had here. And I'm a sucker for settings like this. I like robot apocalypse kind of movies. I like the 90s. So you didn't get me. I don't know who you're getting with this movie. For me, I think I'll be generous. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5, and that I think is being generous. Because like I said, like, it's not awful, but do I ever want to watch this again? Will I be trying to get me a pirated physical copy of this from Netflix? No. Like, this is never watch again material for me. So that is unfortunate. What did you guys think of Electric State? Did you even watch it? And until next time, this is Rainy Cage. Peace out.